views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Well, my girl's got the sweetest pussy. She does have the sweetest pussy.
Welcome to SinCityBounty.com.
The only show where we get to talk about my girlfriend's pussy and my boyfriend's dick.
Although, yeah, it would be the only show that we get to talk about your... I was going to say, I think other shows talk about thruples, but... Again, not specifically yours.
You know, actually, I have not had the actual "Can I talk about us on the show" conversation yet.
So we probably shouldn't.
So I still have to keep it kind of PC-ish. Or
is there a rule that I can't? I mean, can I? While you just sit there and close your mouth, and they'll be like,
they have not consented to you talking about my relationship.
I know. They also didn't consent to me coming and watching you guys.
No, not
and
the
I
first
asked
time.
nicely.
Not the first time.
But I asked nicely. I don't understand.
We'll have plenty of times. Plenty of times.
It was I even gave this the cutesy smile that usually gets me what I want, but doesn't work.
These people are not swayed by your cutesy smiles.
Right,
I have warned them.
Did not work at all.
They were forewarned.
Not at all. Not even a flinch. So I'm actually to the point where I'm scared to ask again. So not that I won't. Not that I won't. I mean, I will. We already know me.
Yeah.
I'm a perv.
Tequila.
We've totally watched each other in a variety of scenarios. Totally.
Mostly super naked.
Right.
My high priestess is watching.
So, well,
that's all right. She knows how fucked up I am.
And if she doesn't, I'm going to make sure she does now.
No, trust me, she knows.
So it's just the two of us tonight. Alexia's not here.
She's busy getting some homework done. Literally.
Right? And we're often not just the two of us. We talk about this. If it's just the two of us, I apparently throw in a guest so we don't have to have the moments of
awkward
awkwardness.
silence.
Right. But here's what it is. I'm just going to share. Back when we were doing this show in a different studio years ago, and for a long time it was just the two of us, I would leave the room and you would talk about...
Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever other weird nerdy thing I was into. And I would
come back in and go, I got nothing. I don't even know which is which. Yeah. I've got nothing here.
But I try to curb that now.
But this week, we're so in sync because, number one, we've both watched...
Game of Thrones?
No, I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Endgame?
Yeah.
Avengers. Just so you know, the Russo brothers have officially said that we can spoil the fuck out of Endgame. Have you still not watched it?
So we can't. We promised him we wouldn't. We promised we wouldn't.
Did you watch Game of Thrones? You don't.
I don't watch
Game
that.
of Thrones.
But I did. But I do know there was a cup left in there.
Yeah, and they digitally redacted it.
Yeah.
So
but
now
for
if you go back and watch it, it can.
Something that costs millions of dollars.
Yeah, no. They had a year and a half to record this. They had a year and a half to work on this show, and they left a goddamn grande latte in the fucking scene. Like, that's some bullshit. Honestly, though, it could have been tea. We don't know what it was, but it was like a grande cup from Starbucks. The logo is
it was
pretty
obviously
clear.
Starbucks.
Yeah, so Starbucks is like, fuck yeah, Game of Thrones, all that publicity.
So much money. So much.
Did you see the meme about writing her name on the cup?
Oh, where it's like, it fills the whole cup, Daenerys Stormborn first of her name.
What's sad is it could have been from, what is it, T-Bean or whatever. What's the other one? I just started going there, but I can't remember what they're called. There you go.
No,
but it could have been from somewhere else or some like off-brand, and that poor company just had a chance to get like some notoriety.
But it's
everyone's immediately like Starbucks.
It was Starbucks. The logo was pretty clear. I mean, it wasn't like clear, but if you're like me and you drink enough Starbucks that I just get a lot of free drinks now, it was Starbucks.
Yeah, no, it was pretty obvious.
I want to roll into Starbucks the next time I go and be like, can I have the Game of Thrones special? We'll see what they make.
Say.
Yeah.
So I guess we can't talk about Endgame. But we can talk about my favorite month of the year.
It's mine too.
It is May, and May is National Masturbation Month.
Whack it and jack it.
So it is like one of the best months, but we'll get to that. We're gonna have plenty of masturbation talk tonight. So
Yeah.
gear up, pull out your wang, whatever. Whatever you need to do.
Get ready to spin the clits of the 80s, 90s, and today.
Waka waka waka.
That's my favorite one. I totally stole it from a stand-up comedian. I think it was Dane Cook, who also does The Shocker.
Dane Cook.
I think so.
You stole something from Dane Cook.
I think so.
I wouldn't admit that.
Spinning
Like,
Look, spinning the clits of the 80s and 90s today gets
It's
me
hilarious.
it gets me way more laughs than it ever got him. I'm sorry. I think my sister's a huge fan of Dane Cook.
is she
She's-
watching?
She's fun.
Is your sister watching during our
don't know.
masturbation episode? Because that would be amazing.
I don't know. Probably.
I'm hoping your mom pops in. I'm waiting to get started once she does. Any luck, maybe your dad will come on.
Oh,
Any
God.
one of them.
Jesus, no. My dad's on Facebook like once every 2 weeks just to like all my posts and comment on something from 4 weeks ago. Like, hang in there, kid. I'll be like, ooh, Dad, I'm on a new depression steer now.
What I love about your dad is that he's on Facebook. I think I've said it on here before, but like my dad still calls our cell phones and he's like, hey, it's your dad. Pick up the phone. It's your dad. Pick up the phone. And it's like a
hilarious.
2-minute voicemail about picking up the phone
That's
left on
funny.
my cell phone.
Thanks, Dads. Everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's great.
So we're just going to segue into Masturbation Month?
Well, let's hold off a little. Let's
Tease it a little?
tease the masturbation.
You know, when you just like lightly stroke around your thighs a little, kind of get that
Right.
tingle to get down in there.
It's that moment where you're like, you know what? What do I want to do right now? Do I want to...
Am I going to get out a toy? Is it a vibrating or non-vibrating? Is it going to be human-shaped or not? Is it like...
Right?
I got lots of options. And I have all her dildos now, too,
You
so
do.
I have tons of
You
options.
do. She got double the dildos. What can I say?
Actually, I came across that bag in my closet the other day. I was like, what fucking purse is... Oh, that's the dildo purse. I
That's
come
the
across
vibe
it like
bag.
every couple of months, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, it's her dildos.
That's right. That's right. Do you tell him I miss him?
No. But I'm like, one of these days, bitches.
One of these days, I'm just going to come over and I'm just going to go upstairs. And you'll know. You won't even ask. You'll be like, turn up the TV a little louder. You'll just know.
Speaking of my TV, I bought a new TV almost a year ago now, I guess. It's one of those fancy TCL Roku TVs where it's all built into it, and my Google Home talks to it, so we make it do all kinds of weird shit. But it's been randomly like muting itself, basically, like turning its own volume down, and we have to unplug the TV and plug it back in. And I'm very disappointed in it, except that now that means I get to go buy a sound bar so that I can correct that problem. So kind of okay with
So
it.
it's not that much of an issue then?
No, not really. I'm just like, slightly annoying. Bose or not Bose? That's
So
the question.
Whenever I pull up, I use my Roku on my app, and whenever I pull it up, yours is on there. And I'm like, should I click it and hit fast forward?
Well,
Just in case you're watching.
mine is set up so that you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. You can set it up
Oh,
to use
really?
it through IR and I think something else, but you have to be on my Wi-Fi network to use it. Because I did not want that to happen. I did not want to suddenly be watching, I don't know, The Office for the 47th time.
That is why. That time we stayed at her house one weekend. We were dog sitting. And she came back. We jacked her Netflix queue. Like,
She
jacked
sure
it.
did. I
Like-
was like, what the fuck, 30-minute sitcoms? Jesus, where's my anime?
It was everything. It was like The Office, Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec was already on there, though.
I think
That's
I
mine.
watched Jack Ryan at one point on like some Amazon. I started that because the guy from that's from The Office, and we were just like whipping through whatever 30-minute comedies we could find on there.
It was pretty funny. I came back. I was like, I watched none of these things. For months, Netflix was just like, hey, we think you might like this. Not me. Although I'm like, almost everyone has my Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, HBO Now password. Like,
So
I will roll in and there'll be like a new profile on my thing. And I'm like, All right. I think your daughter's even got a profile on my Switch.
She might from. Oh yeah, she does
Yeah.
on the Switch.
Yeah.
But I should get your Netflix password because I've given mine away to so many people that I posted about it on Facebook. Someone changed mine to Spanish, so I can't figure it out to change it back. So I just click on it and look for The Office by the photo, and often I can't go on there because too many other people are on it. And again,
Change
it's
your
not
password.
me. Well, I mean, a lot of people, like, it's family and stuff. Like, literally, even my ex-in-laws still use my Netflix.
No.
And we're talking years.
Like,
I'd be like, Vampire Diaries. I didn't watch this shit. And they'll be like muscle cars and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no.
yeah, no. I would, I'd change my password at that point. Like, if somebody's changing my shit to another language, I'd be like, what? You just fucked it for everybody. One person fucks it for the whole bushel. Change my password. That's exactly what I would do. And then everybody in my house would be like, why can't we get into Netflix from our phones? I'd be like, bitch, watch it in the living room.
Right? I change it for a reason.
Yeah.
Jaspy said, do you have a safe word when using your dildo? Mine is, fuck yeah, Jesus. I don't know about anybody else.
Safe word for my dildo? My safe word is platypus. Just so you all know, if I ever scream out platypus, stop what you're doing.
It's a long one.
But
like, what
you're
if
never
you're
gonna-
gagged? What if you're gagged? You can't get out platypus. It should be easy.
Tap out 3 times. Or just start slamming on the table, waving your hands
It
around.
should be like
turning blue.
latte. Like something that you could be like, latte.
Well, latte could sound like harder if you're gagged. I'm not really into gags, so it's not really going to be a thing.
Then you got nothing to worry about.
I'm into choking, but I can totally squeak out platypus.
You can lip sync platypus.
I could.
You it in sign language.
Actually,
With a little ASL.
I know a little bit of ASL, and I had my first deaf customer come into the froyo shop today, and so I got to use a little bit of it, but I definitely rusty, definitely need to brush up on my ASL. I used to be pretty fluent in it back in high school, but...
I love you to do it where you spelled it out, and you're like, PLATA.
I'd be dead
By the
by
time
then.
you get to the P, yeah, you're dead. You're purple.
By the time I get to the puss part of platy, I'm going to just be dead purple.
It's done. It's done. So, well, let's talk. I mean, since we're talking about our dildos and safe words, let's talk about masturbation.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about... Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
Wrong
When
one.
I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, I don't
So, for
anybody
years,
else.
we've always talked about it on this particular day, like this month. And in the past, we've had some stories. We've asked you guys to share stories. And
We've got some new listeners, so as we are going through this, if at any point you have a story you would like to share with us about masturbation, please pop it into the comments. I can sort of see them.
but I can see them.
We will talk about your story. We'll relate your story on the air if you'd like, and if you put it in the comments, it's on the air anyway, so fuck you. And we'll talk about our own masturbation stories, and we don't care. Good story, bad story, getting walked in on story, I don't know, squirting across the room story, whatever. We'll take them all.
All the story. Give us all the stories.
Yeah.
So here's a few things. May is National Masturbation Month, and I think because a lot of the stuff I saw on it online, I'll have to print out some fun facts. But everything produced is from a company called WeVibe, which is world's #1 selling couples vibrator brand. So I'm pretty sure they came up with this month.
Totally cool. I'm down with it.
But actually, the reality is it did come about after, it had to do with President Clinton. And give me just 1 second.
She brought fucking notes.
I brought everything. I'm prepared because, masturbation.
You do have to prep for masturbation. I know some people can just dive right into it, but I can't. So if I masturbate, I've got like a story going on or a scenario that's happening. Jason Momoa's involved. God
So
damn it, man,
I
that's
thought I
handsome.
printed it, but bottom line, it had to do with something that Clinton came out and said years ago. And then after he came out and said something in regards to masturbation, actually he was against it, which is surprising considering we know that he's very pro blowjobs. So
But
I
that's
assumed
not
he'd be pro hand job too.
Well, that's not self-love.
But
Some people are against self-love for whatever fucked up ass reason, usually religious.
so
People are against it.
So it came out after that. Oh, wait a second. Is Johnny Fever getting sexed?
I think he is.
That's like a Facebook call.
Wowza. Hey, I got a
Is he
message.
taking his pants off?
I don't know.
Like, what's happening? So,
Sorry, my couple was asking me a question.
so bottom line, here we go. 20% of people say they have masturbated in a car.
I have masturbated in many cars.
I don't think I've masturbated in a car.
I have driven around with a dildo inserted inside of me. I can't believe I just admitted to that. So I am into some pretty kinky and weird shit, and I had a partner who was totally into imagining me just doing everyday things with my dildo inside of me, and so I would drive from my house to his house with my dildo inside of me.
You did it one time in an airport.
No.
Didn't you have a dildo in you in an airport?
No, not me.
Oh, I thought it was you.
No.
It's
First off,
apparently.
there's more than one kinky motherfucker on the planet. No, I wouldn't do that. Number one, because then they would pull me out and body cavity search
Right.
me.
Which would be
And
amazing.
generally, I am. Yeah, just be like, Madam, what is this? What the fuck do you think that is? A big rubber dick. Put it back where you found it.
But the minute they pull it out, like you all over.
I made Johnny Fever choke on water.
They're like, "Man, move along, move along." What do you do with that?
Well, no, at that point it becomes a body fluid issue, and then they have to lock down that portion of the airport, and Biohaz has to come in and clean it up, and it's a mess. Which is why I would never wear a dildo in an airport. Vibrating panties I would never wear in an airport either, because you got to go through that little
Yeah, no,
thing,
they'll catch
and
that.
they'll totally catch. They'll be like, "Ma'am, what is that?" I'd be like, "My boyfriend's weird. I'm wearing vibrating panties. What do you want?" Like, I'm gonna enjoy
No,
this fucking
it's a
45-minute plane
bomb.
ride.
It's a bomb there. Like, no,
There,
no.
I will be known as the panty bomber. Like, that's not happening. I'm not becoming the panty bomber.
It would be great.
They'll
I
be
once did a show with a butt plug in, but I wasn't masturbating. It was just in because
You did one of our shows with a butt plug in?
yeah, the whole episode. I was seeing a guy and he's like he was into that kind of stuff. You
Okay,
know,
I-
you like surprised him, and then partway through I'm like, hey, guess what I'm wearing? And I did the whole time.
Episode 327. If you watch, you can tell.
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty sure you could tell.
No, because I did not know you. You have done this show with a butt plug in.
The whole show.
Do you have
Like,
a butt plug in right
I-
now? Let me see. I'm not gonna look at her butthole.
It's possible.
Not gonna look at her butthole.
Wait. How many shows have you done without a butt plug?
That's the one that's harder to count.
Oh my god.
No, I wasn't masturbating.
You know what
during
we
the show,
should
but
do?
that was
We should do like synchronized butt plugging on the show. Like we should both just come do the show with a butt plug in and talk about it the whole time. Just be like, woo, 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 woo.
I wasn't. Here's what I'll tell you. Like, I'll be completely honest. I'm a mover. Like, I don't stay still a lot. But that was one episode where I was like, yeah. Like, I wasn't moving the whole episode.
I did not know that.
So
327.
I'm.
I would get one though that didn't have. It would have to be like a good silicone because I'm not going to wear a metal or glass.
No,
butt
it was
plug.
totally silicone. Yeah.
But
you
with one
got
of
it.
those like butt crack shaped plug ends, where instead of it just being a little round one, it would be like cups your whole butt crack because it'd be a
Yeah.
little bit more comfortable, I think, than just a knob of silicone sticking
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
your
just-
ass.
It was a silicone and it had the round stopper. So I knew I wouldn't have to go ask you guys to fish it out. So
Oh, we've got some. Things.
I learned it from watching you. Are you plugged in right now? Lisa has played with herself in a car.
Good job, Lisa.
And Jaspy said, when I used to get prepared for fights, I went 6 weeks or more with no sex and masturbation. That testosterone built up in me could be a deadly thing. I have a friend who's a runner, and he does the same. Like, he doesn't, prior to a run, he keeps all that in.
This is why I'm
So-
neither a runner nor a fighter. I'm a
this is
self-lover.
yeah, this is why.
Yeah, because I need to masturbate, y'all.
It's because you can't masturbate. I'm not a runner or a fighter because
I like to masturbate.
I'm fat. And if I'm running,
You better
someone's
run
chasing me.
too.
Right. You run too. And yeah. So okay, so anyone else in a car? So, hey, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hey, baby. So, 20% of people have masturbated in a car. 82% reported masturbating the most during winter months and at night.
Well, of course at night. Jesus. It's not like everybody's just running around the middle of the day and like,
Then everybody's like bowl of Cheerios and, going to town.
they were like bacon and egg breakfast sandwich. Yum, 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 yum. Clitoris stimulation for breakfast. That's not happening.
It's not how it works.
No.
I mean, it
Although I
could.
have done that. I've masturbated in the middle of the day. Have you masturbated?
Oh, yeah, in the middle of the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite time used to be, I don't really admit this to many, but I used
Except
to work
for the
from
millions
home.
that watch this show.
I know, I used to work from home, and so in the middle of a work day, I'm like, wait, I'm going to go masturbate. But I wouldn't do it in my office. I had a very clear,
Except that's
defined
where we
line.
found most of the dildos when we were packing them. Was in your office. She's like, quick, hide these. There's children all over my office. There's like 8 dildos. I was like pulling dildos off the goddamn dildo tree. It was like fucking whack-a-wanker everywhere. There was fucking cock.
Dildos from the dildo tree is basically a good description of my life.
That's going to be the description of this show today, by the way. That's the name of this tonight's show, Dildos from the Dildo Tree.
19% of the West, so masturbation across the nation, 19% in the West do it on the couch.
I've done it on the couch.
Totally done on the couch.
Done it on this couch that you've slept on.
I've done it on that same couch of yours. I slept on.
Just masturbating on my couch. Okay, keep going.
I wish I could say that's the worst thing I did on your couch. and that's when you know you're really good friends. 41% in the bathroom in the Midwest. Bathroom, obviously.
I've done it in the bathroom.
Yeah. 25% in the shower.
Done it in the
Who
shower.
hasn't done it in the shower? But that's the
Especially when you
easy
got
way
the
out.
removable shower
Oh, yeah,
head and
yeah.
just like 5.2 seconds.
And 8% in the kitchen
On the East Coast?
on the East Coast.
That's because sometimes that's the only warm place in the house on the East Coast. You
Ah,
bitches
yeah,
get
that's
cold.
where you keep your kerosene heater, people.
Yeah.
I have to say I don't think I've ever masturbated in the kitchen.
I haven't masturbated in this kitchen, but I have masturbated in other people's kitchens upon request.
Upon request.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I could request these things.
You
I'm
could.
well aware now.
Yeah, if that's what, like, the thing, like, here, do it here, do it here. I'm sure.
Like, all right. So Tim said, I wish there was a shirt of a dildo tree. So do I, Tim. So do I.
There is a dress with dildos all over it. You can get a cow dress with dildos all over
Oh,
it.
yeah. But they're cute dildos. They look like little happy dildos.
I don't
My
want
dildos
an
aren't
angry
always.
dildo.
Have you had an angry? Come on. Have you always been like joyful while masturbating, or are you ever like fuck yeah, like angry masturbating?
I don't masturbate when I'm angry.
Oh no, I can. I totally can.
That's like pissed off sex.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do that.
I
I
can
can do
do-
pissed on sex though.
I can be pissed off. You trying to skim over that like it was nothing. So,
Yeah.
I used to love the Jets in a hot tub.
Hell yeah.
And Tim, I've never done it in the shower, but I grew up in a kind of open house. It was normal for someone to just walk in mid-shower.
Oh yeah. That's not
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
No. We have very strict don't come into the bathroom rules in my house. Number 1, so that I don't walk in on anyone else masturbating. Number 2, so nobody walks in on me masturbating. We knock on doors. Except for my kid. He has to leave his door open.
To masturbate?
No, when he's at home upstairs.
Oh, God.
I don't care if he... You know where he mostly masturbates is on the goddamn couch. So we're not the only ones masturbating down there.
I have nothing. I got nothing to that.
Well...
So that last one was where people across the country are most likely to masturbate. So men versus women. Men were 2 times more likely to watch adult visual content when masturbating than females.
Guys are way more visual than girls are.
Right.
I have a whole thing in my head going on, so...
I'm very visual, so I'm like, I will pop it on. I have no shame.
Yeah, I normally don't need to see it very often.
Women were 2 times more likely to listen to music as part of their masturbation routine.
Yeah.
So what do you listen to? Are you like Celine Dion and rub? I mean, what do you do?
I can't rub to Celine Dion. It depends.
Like some Eagles? Take it. I don't know. What do you do?
I've masturbated. If you've ever seen my music playlist, I've masturbated to just about anything except probably Celine Dion, because that's not in my music playlist. Metal.
So if you're
Classical.
listening to metal and you're masturbating, that's like angry masturbation.
No, that's passionate masturbation. It's different from angry masturbation. I'm not angry when I masturbate. I can't be. If I'm angry, I'm real angry, and I just go to bed angry and I wake up angry. Takes a little while for the angry to go away, and then I need to be relaxed to masturbate. I cannot masturbate when I'm stressed, because I'm too stressed to masturbate.
So stress is different from angry for me.
Yeah.
Too stress is a totally different story.
Anger makes me stressed.
Got
So
it.
they're connected for me.
Got it. So for me, like I can't stay angry that long. Like I have squirrel syndrome or shiny quarter syndrome where I forget what I'm doing 30 seconds later. So I definitely forget why I'm angry. Like 5 minutes later, I'm like, why was I pissed off?
Nope, that's like the only thing I can remember.
So that means your sessions last less than 30 seconds?
I can get myself off in no time.
Yeah.
Like
I have to consciously make the effort to extend masturbation periods. Otherwise, I'm done in like 2 minutes. And then I'm like, well, it was enjoyable, but that wasn't fun.
Yeah, no,
I gotta-
for me,
I gotta
like, that's the
stretch it
fun
out.
part. I'm like, we're on a clock here. Like, 2.5 minutes. Come on, girl. You gotta speed this
there we
up.
are.
So,
He says, I think those numbers are wrong. I'm sure the most common place to masturbate is the hands. Ha ha ha. P.S. I have had sex with Celine, but that's because she was on the Deadpool 2 soundtrack. Oh, I've had sex too. I thought it said with Celine. I was like, boy, we fucking celebrities. I ain't even done that yet.
so talking about masturbation with your buddies is as common as discussing last night's game. But is it the same for ladies? So before I read any further, so guys openly talk about it, I don't think all women do.
We do.
We do. We do. Like, literally, we've texted each other, and I'm like, God, I just got off, and it was really good. Or,
It'd be like, I've been masturbating all day. I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
Every time I'm alone for 3 seconds. Blah. Oh, I'm really fucking up this piece of food. Sorry, guys. Just shaking the table.
So this says, surprisingly, it's close. 85% of millennials, which we are not, admit they talk about masturbation with friends, and as you may have guessed, men are more likely to discuss it than women. 34% and 29%, I can't talk.
Percent respectively.
Percent respectively.
That's cool. I think you should talk about masturbation a lot more with your friends, because, like, I have met women my age who've never masturbated.
Right.
And I'm like, how the fuck did you make it this far without getting yourself off once or twice? Like, I've been so sexually frustrated sometimes. I was a masturbating fiend before I had sex. Like, I humped every pillow I ever fucking owned, and bitches, don't tell me you didn't. We all did.
I didn't hump pillows.
What'd you hump?
Not pillows.
What'd you hump?
I
Stuffed
just got
animals?
myself out. No,
Oh.
I never humped a stuffed animal.
I've humped pillows.
I haven't.
Okay. Don't look at me like I'm weird.
I'm not. It's the first I've heard that, though.
Really?
Like, no, yeah.
There's this great show on Netflix. It's weird. It's about a bunch of 13-year-old kids going through puberty.
No, I know which one.
It's the
are they
animated show.
adults?
No.
Oh, never mind
It's an
then.
animated show.
Okay. I know which one that is.
Yeah, I
There's-
can't remember what it's
Oh,
called.
there's one on Hulu. It's called Pen 15, but it's supposed to be penis.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this show, and like, there's an episode, like, there was one episode where they go in this closet to make out with these kids, and there's the next episode, like, is about masturbation. And so I'm watching it. I'm watching with my daughter, of all people. And I kept going, why do these guys look so old? Like, they don't look like teenagers, but they're in a closet making out with teenagers. And so my daughter's like, that's the irony of the show. Like, they're not teenagers, so that's the whole shtick. And I'm like, oh, I can't watch this. Because then it creeps me out because legally they really are adults. And
They're pretending to be teenagers?
They're pretending to be teenagers.
It's the older versions of themselves playing the younger versions of themselves.
Which I totally get. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Yeah. I mean, it's the same like when I watch 90210 and you know they're all like 30, 40 years old.
That's it. Vendetta's got it.
Yes,
Big Mouth.
Yes.
That's a great show. The girl humping her glowworm. That's amazeballs.
So, anyway, I don't know. It just weirds me out when I know it's adults. And I know that they're in a scene with kids, even though they're pretending to be a child version of themselves. It's just, I'm like, this show's done.
Masturbation is fun. I've masturbated. I wholeheartedly believe every person should masturbate. And I think you should watch yourself masturbate. If you've never seen yourself get off, yeah. Put on a camera. We've all got our fucking cell phones.
Right.
Just set it up there. Watch yourself, what you're doing. And learn your body. Learn your bits. And how you bobble them.
So a tale as old as time. Do you remember the first time you masturbated? And if you're like 45% of the male respondents, it happened during the tender years of adolescence between 13 to 19. But for 20% of women, their first time didn't happen until their early 20s.
I swear to God, I am just a dude trapped in a chick's body. I was masturbating probably around 13 or 14 years old.
So I wasn't. I was around that age and I started exploring, but it was never anything like I could never get a lot of pleasure out of it. So it was more like a thing where I thought, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'll do it. It wasn't until later that I became more comfortable with myself and with my sexuality that I really got into it.
I will have to say it probably helped that I read all my dad's porno mags. And the Penthouse letters and the Playboy letters and the stories that were in them, they really helped me understand how to masturbate. Because guys are totally into watching and reading about girls who masturbate. And so almost all, there's like half of every Penthouse letter is about some girl talking about being 2 knuckles deep in her fucking vag. So, I mean, I learned through erotica. No surprise there that I totally love erotica now. Like smutty erotica.
Like smutties.
Mm-hmm. Not like Harlequin romance shit. That's tame.
So thanks to like Old Bitty Titties magazine. You're totally into sexual erotica. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. Fuck. I hope he never watches.
God, I hope you're watching.
I hope he never sees this show. My worst fear is my dad sees this show. Especially that episode where you're always trying to find out how many fingers does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop and that kind of bullshit. Like,
So,
I can't.
If anyone hasn't seen the previous episodes, I just have to share. We had a discussion regarding, I won't go into too much detail, but it was regarding Knuckles and it was regarding her dad, and her mom wouldn't give a solid answer.
My dad's missing some fingers.
And I thought in missing the digits that it would help, like the knuckles would help hit inside better. And I wanted to know if that theory was true.
Oh, my fucking ears hurt. I can't even listen to this.
We asked her mom, and her mom wouldn't give an answer.
Thank
or
God.
a good answer.
Jesus God Christ,
So-
and thank you.
So her dad was in town, and we're at her house, and I'm in the kitchen.
She walks in and stands next to my dad, and
And I'm
I go
standing
into
there.
full dagger mode.
And then Alexia's all, no.
My fucking kid's in the room, dude. I think your kid was in the next room.
My kid was there too. But I'm standing there, and you're like, this is my dad, and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. And I think I probably stared at him for a minute, and I'm all, no, like one of those, should I ask? I want to ask, should I ask? How do I ask?
I'm 100% positive she felt the daggers flying from my
No,
eyeballs and
I did.
poking her
And
right in the
thing
goddamn
is,
face.
It wasn't just coming from you. Like, Alexia was going to dive across the room. I was about to be, like, fucking tackled. And then you would have been jumping on my head or something. But it literally, like, I still picture it in slow-mo. Where I'm there, like, should I do it? Should I ask? What should I do? Like a little dog who's, like, all excited, but doesn't know how to contain their excitement. And I'm like, can I ask what I saw? Should I ask? Should I wait? What should I do? What should I do? And then I got shot down. So I will never have the answer.
Thank God.
Unless he is, but apparently I'm not allowed to friend him. So whatever.
I never said that. But he's on like once every 2 weeks.
So, why men and women masturbate isn't really a question in need of scientific analysis, but it's good to know what triggers your partner. 87% of participants say they do it when they're in the mood. 55% attribute it to being stimulated, while some do it to relieve stress, boredom, or capitalize on excitement. All in all, 76% of participants reported feeling satisfied and 59% felt relaxed afterward.
I can't masturbate when I'm totally stressed out. But if I'm only a little stressed or I have pent up energy that needs to be released before I can go to bed, I'll do that. I actually, for a while there, I didn't masturbate at all for a long, long time. So I don't know if guys go through this. I don't know how many girls go through this, but at some point I get bored of myself masturbating because I'm like, it's the same shit every fucking time. I can mix it up in like 5 different ways maybe, and that's just really not enough ways to keep me interested.
That's why you have 2 hands.
Yes, and multiple toys and a shower head and all that good stuff. But speaking of toys, I have this fucking show. I have a pillow that I can insert my dildo into so I can ride it like a cowgirl. I popped my pillow. I need to get a new one because it was inflatable. I popped it because one of my dildos, the base, is a little too big for the hole. And I was really trying to use that one, and it just did not work out, and I popped my pillow.
I feel like I'm missing out on life. Like, I haven't fully lived because I have never had a vibrating pillow.
Oh, no, it doesn't vibrate. It's just an inflatable pillow that you can stick your dildo in, and then you can just ride it up and down like a dick. Boop, 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 boop. Woo.
Does it play like little circus music while you're bouncing? Like little squeaks?
No.
Do, do, do. No.
No, it's just a inflatable pillow that you
Have
put
I
your dildo
laid
in.
on this pillow not knowing it was your masturbation pillow? Like,
No.
that's the question here.
No, I kept it separate.
Okay.
And I would have to wash it afterwards because, juicy.
Right. So,
I popped my pillow. Very sad.
I'm really sorry that you popped your pillow.
But I did figure out how to rig up my dildo to something else so that I could ride it.
I'd like to know what.
It's a couple of rolled up towels to get the same height and girth needed.
I like your DIY-ness.
And then I use an old bra, not a bra, but an old string bikini string because that bikini fell apart and strap it down to the. Why do I tell you people this shit?
I'm super impressed right now. I am not that resourceful. I've never Pinterested my
I should totally start a Pinterest.
But you need to. We need
Pinterest
to
page.
make some masturbation. I can't talk. Masturbation Pinterest.
Can one of our fans? Can you quickly go onto Pinterest and see if there's dildos on there? Because if there's pictures of dildos, I'll do it. But if there isn't, then I can't. Because that means it's against terms of service. I mean, I would have done it on my Tumblr blog, but fuck those non-porn bitches.
Tumblr.
Fuck Tumblr.
So, exotic travel. You want to give that a read?
Yeah. Not surprisingly, 80% of participants' go-to destination for taking a load off was the bedroom, followed by the shower, and then the couch. More surprisingly, 20% of men and 19% of women reported the car as being the most unusual place they've masturbated. That is not the most unusual place I have masturbated, but I've done it in the car. More disturbingly, why is this disturbing? 6% of men reported masturbating at the office. Think about that the next time Bob from accounting goes missing for 20 minutes. And think twice before you go looking for him. Other unusual places include planes, trains, and buses. We're hoping, praying it's in the bathroom.
It's not because there have been reports and people have been arrested for masturbating in the seat.
And 22% of respondents reported masturbating while on a business trip. I have masturbated while on a business trip. I'm in a hotel room that the company paid for. I am coming all over that goddamn place.
I would too. Yeah.
All over that fucking place.
If you know that, number one, for me, the hottest place to have sex is a hotel room.
Because I don't have to clean it up afterwards.
Absolutely. And for me, even better if it's a seedy hotel room.
Scuzzy as fuck.
And you're like, oh my God, am I going to die here?
The
Is
one
that
where you
a
wear
chalk outline on the ground?
The one where you wear flip-flops on the carpet?
Yes. and the sheets are plastic and they crinkle, and you're like,
They're not plastic. They just crinkle.
They just crinkle, and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I get weirded out afterward because there's stuff that
I
weirds
got
me
bed
out,
bugs in the
but-
coochie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But up until that point, like, it's hot.
I will admit that I have masturbated, not in. Nope. Yep. Done it in my office.
So mine's a definite yes because, I worked from my office before. But I have absolutely gotten guys to masturbate at work. Like, go in the bathroom.
Oh, you mean not at a place you have worked?
No, I haven't. No, I'm not over there talking to Bob from accounting and being like, listen, I'd like you to slide your hand down your pants.
So I have this. It's a stupid crush because this kid literally graduated high school 2 years ago. But I have this adorable little crush on this kid who's super sweet, super nice, absolutely adorable. I hope he masturbates in the office. That actually makes my nipple hurts thinking about that. I hope he does.
Have you ever thought of asking?
No, because he blushes when I make even a small off-color comment. I think he would have a heart attack if I asked him if he jerked off at work.
And then what's going to happen is when you're called into HR and they're like, we'd like you to sign this warning.
We're gonna write you up on that.
You discussing masturbation with your coworkers.
Yeah. So I have masturbated on a business trip. I have masturbated in my office. I've masturbated in the car. I have not masturbated in a public place where people could see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The golden hour. Most people will agree that winter is long and hard, cold and lonely. I don't think so. So it's no surprise that those months are when participants masturbate the most, 82% of people.
Wow.
Likewise, there's a time of day participants identified as being their golden hour. 58% prefer to masturbate in the evening, while 51% like to kick back and relax at night. Hey, who doesn't like a little afternoon delight? I've done it any time up during the day. And I don't find that I masturbate more during the winter than the summer. No, actually, I probably do masturbate more in the winter than in the summer because it's
It's
hot.
Yeah, it's
And
hot.
my bedroom is directly above a heat sink, so my bedroom is always fucking hot. Always fucking hot. It's sometimes too hot for me to have sheets, but I don't even want to touch myself when it's that hot.
So while 68% of respondents report using their hands most often while masturbating, some prefer the tools of the trade. Case in point, 26% of participants use a vibrator and 6% use some type of sex toy.
So I know there are male masturbatory tools out there, but are they really that commonly used?
Fleshlights.
But I've never been with a guy who owns one, and I've been with a lot of guys.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never popped out a fleshlight with a guy.
I would totally, because I'm bad at hand jobs. I mean, I can do this, but the rest of it I don't know what it is. It's just bad. But I could totally get a guy off with like a masturbatory sleeve or a hand job thingy or whatever it is. I could do that.
I want one of those little gel sleeves that we had when we were a kid that you could squirt it in your hand and it keeps going. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
those
It's like
like
a noodle
little
thing.
Yeah, I know what
And it
you're
goes
talking
like this. You could totally
about. I'm 100% positive every dude who uses masturbatory tools started with one of those.
Probably.
It
Because
was
those
like,
are amazing.
this is amazing. I like watching guys jack off with those open-ended ones where they pop their little head out the other end, just bloop. I watch guys masturbate. That's my porn.
Yeah.
One of them.
As you may have guessed, using a vibrator or sex toy is very common for women. 50% have either used a vibrator or were open to doing so. 50% use a vibrator weekly on their own versus 27% with their partner. And 50% admit it's easier to climax while masturbating than having sex with their partner.
It is easier to masturbate and get off than it is with my partner. But that's because I don't have to teach myself the combination to my lock.
Exactly. 59% of participants confess the frequency of their masturbation habit doesn't change whether or not they're in a relationship, and not shy about it either. 61% of respondents said their significant other knows they masturbate, and 39% even masturbate in front of their significant other.
So I will tell you a
Mutual masturbation.
I'll tell you a funny story. I had a partner who liked to watch me masturbate, liked to have me masturbate during sex, but did not like having me masturbate without him participating. while he was in the same bed with me. So, like, if I woke up and was horny and he was not, and I masturbated, he'd get mad at me. And I was like, why? Do you know how it makes me feel when you masturbate and don't include me or don't let me participate? I'm like, you could participate, but sometimes I just need to get myself off. 10
I
minutes.
would totally just roll over and be like, hey, do you mind if I watch some Netflix? Like, unless you want a hand, I'll just hang out over here, play some Candy Crush.
Listen, I don't care. If you want to masturbate and I'm not into like helping you, go for it. Yank it off. I don't give a shit. Likely I'm gonna get horny watching you masturbate, so you better be ready for a round 2, or at least letting me finish off with you or something.
So we actually have some science, and then we'll wrap this up because we have a lot going on that we want to talk about. So there's 6 reasons you should treat yourself to a nice 5-fingered grip, all backed by science. So the first one is...
It makes you happy. You already know getting off feels great, and in turn, it brightens your mood. When you rub one out, your brain gets treated to a delicious cocktail of neurotransmitters, including dopamine and oxytocin, which lifts your mood and makes you feel happy and satisfied as fuck.
Does that start to make you like, are you getting turned on right now?
Not right now.
Reading all those big science words?
No, those aren't big enough for me.
All right, I'm like, science, yes. It helps you last longer. So you already know that round 2 lasts longer than the first time around. So it only makes sense that masturbating before having sex will help you have a lot more control. So you can avoid the I touched the boob and I liked it situation.
It keeps the cold and flu away. According to hormone specialist Dr. Jennifer Landa, jerking off temporarily increases your production of stress hormone cortisol, which is crucial for your ability to react to everyday stress. And in small doses, it helps regulate and maintain immunity.
So
That's probably why I never get the flu.
it prevents cancer. Fun fact, not ejaculating regularly can give you cancer, which is why you should masturbate more often. When you don't ejaculate regularly, the fluid in your prostate becomes stagnant and full of gnarly viruses and bacteria, which can lead to a bunch of serious health problems, including cancer. Researchers from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health discovered that 20-something men who ejaculated at least 20 times a month were 19% less likely to develop prostate cancer. And in 40-year-olds, that number jumped to 22%. Another study also found that men who jerked off over 5 times a week were 33% less likely to develop prostate cancer.
Well, I guess I'm not going to berate my kid for masturbating anymore.
Yep, there you go.
It helps you sleep better. You know how you get super sleepy right after you orgasm and you basically knock out into a comatose slumber? Well, there's a reason for that. As I said earlier, when you orgasm, your brain releases a solid amount of feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters, which makes you feel hella happy as well as hella sleepy. I seriously think somebody wrote this specifically for us to read them in this order.
Even keep going, because that next has some.
Plus, right after you blow your load, your prefrontal cortex, that got me, is basically command central of your brain, slows to a glacial pace and allows you to forget all bothersome thoughts and worries and happily drift off into the land of golden slumbers. Nighty night.
And it makes your erections extra hard. There's an unfortunate universal truth that as you get older, your entire body loses muscle tone. And sadly, this includes your penis and everything around it. That said, masturbating puts your pelvic floor muscles to work and strengthens them, effectively preventing erectile dysfunction and incontinence. The more you jerk off, the better your boners will be, and you'll avoid peeing a little when you sneeze. So it's a win-win.
Cool. It keeps the angle of your dangle perky.
There you go.
All right.
I might have printed it
yeah.
twice. So,
Masturbate,
little
people. It's fun.
masturbation chat.
So, speaking of masturbation, let's move right on into the bashes.
Can I have that back? I wrote some things.
You wrote some things.
So we have a shit ton going on. So let's go over some of it, shall we?
So we have 2 summer bashes this year, 2 week-long summer bashes headed to Vegas 2 weeks in July. I don't have the dates right in front of me because my phone's over there. Hi, phone. So either pick your battles or come to both. One is at Palace Station. That is the Excellence.
Nope. One is at, not Palace Station. It's at,
Plaza.
no, what's that downtown? It's The same one. Plaza. I'm sorry. I thought you said Plaza. Palazzo.
Plaza.
Plaza.
It's at the Plaza, not the Palace Station. My bad. It's at the Plaza, which is amazing. We've been there a couple of times. There's been a number of bashes there. We've broadcast from all of them. So you can expect to see us there Saturday night from the pool broadcasting, as usual. The next week is Bree's Pop-Up Party, which is going to be at Sam's Town.
Yes.
Which is amazeballs. We haven't worked out the kinks yet where we're going to and when we're going to be broadcasting, but you can expect to see us there as well. Crave, in the meantime, Crave has a party every single month.
And it's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday is their Fiesta celebration. Friday night we'll kick off karaoke. Saturday is the Fiesta celebration. In June, Abby is hosting her first solo expedition for a Curvy Confidence pool party that you have to get the tickets for. They're already over half sold out. And there is not this weekend, but I believe next weekend there's a mansion party here.
Private party.
But if you want an invite.
But the bests from Best Bash, which is no longer going on anymore up in Canada, they're the ones hosting that. So
they're hosting the mansion party.
I think Best BBW is the host page.
Well,
for
reach out to one of us.
We'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
I can't go to Crave's Confidence Pool Party because I'll be in DC that weekend. But I hope you all go and have fun. Toxie's supposed to be there.
I'm at everything. I'm like that annoying kid in class who bothers you.
She's the one of the three of us who does not have crippling social anxiety. So she goes to all these things.
No, you forgot. I have it. I still go. And then leading up to that moment, I'm like, I'm going to cancel. I'm not going to go. And then I get there and I'm like, party.
Then she drinks all the alcohol.
Yeah, then I drink all the alcohol. So I don't know what to say to that, but.
It's true.
For the Curvy Confidence pool party, I did offer to sponsor Jaeger bombs from us for the party, and I was told that sounds dangerous.
It is dangerous because no one else will get to drink the fucking Jaeger bombs if Toxie's there.
But I would be serving them. I'd love to bartend and just
She'd be
serve
one for
my
you,
Jaeger
two
bombs.
for me. 2 for you, 3 for me.
Not too much around the pool. I do have, listen, if I don't have a chaperone to make sure that I'm around a pool and I'm not going to drown, then I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to go too crazy.
Not too crazy.
So.
Yeah, I won't be there, so you'll have to take somebody else.
Yeah, and when it gets hot, I don't want to die. I at least have, things in place that
self-preservation techniques.
Thank you. Self-preservation techniques that prevent me from dying. And that's it. That's it right there.
I'd like to, I don't know if you can see this or not, but the cover of this fitness thing is a dude holding a chicken, a rubber chicken. We'll put that up there for you guys.
Hey, Kathy. Hey, Kathy has her Boo Bash.
Yes, we'll coming up in October. We will definitely have her
get Kathy on here. And really quick, just one thing I did want to talk about that you might have seen when she held it up. Thank God I didn't write something secretive on there. I see a lot of bash trash talk happening, a lot.
Cross bash trash talk.
Not even cool. Cross bash. It's people who have gone for years, and they're just whatever. Go. This is all I'm going to say about it. Go and have your own experience. Period.
Yeah, don't
let the negativity that some others express.
Don't let the jaded fuckers keep you from going. There's 2 bashes. There's 2 totally different vibes to each bash.
And they're both amazing.
They're both
We've
amazing.
Been to both. We know both hosts. They're both amazing. They both throw great parties.
Each location has its own benefits. There's no one, I don't think either one. Actually, if you want my goddamn opinion on it, the Tuscany was the best goddamn location for the bash. But I'm sure they're tired of fatties in their pool every summer. So I love the Plaza. I literally live 5 minutes from Sam's Town. I love Sam's Town. I go to Sam's Town all the time. I think they have an amazing buffet. I think they have an amazing everything. I love the Plaza. I don't go there because it's downtown, and I just go downtown to drink, and the plaza's too far away from drinking for me to get to it. But I love going to the plaza for bashes and other events because it's a beautiful setting, and the pool is amazing and everything. There's no downside to either one of them.
The same holds true. Lisa said the bash is what you make of it. Bottom
Yep.
line, same thing holds true for the different events that are going on. It's what you make of it. It's absolutely what you make of it. If you go with some preconceived notion that it's going to be this and these girls are catty and these guys are doing this and blah, blah, blah.
Trust
You're
me.
going to be miserable trying to keep up with people who are being miserable, trying to keep up with people who are being miserable.
Also, the
Go and
cattiness
do your
and
thing.
the cattiness and the douchebaggery happens all the time. It doesn't matter which one you go to. You're going to experience it in both places. It's unfortunate because people are dickheads, but it's going to happen.
So that's that. So do your thing.
Go to the bash.
Do your
Enjoy it.
thing. Do your thing.
That's it.
What, are we already out of time?
5 minutes ago.
No, it's barely
Just
a minute.
flicked up
It's
your
not even
two.
15 minutes past. So, okay, so we have to close the show. Do you remember how to close it? We'll see you next week if you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.
Also, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Like us, share us, click the little bell icon. I should have done all that at the beginning. I'm bad at this.